Yeah, my braids needed a break. It has been 8 weeks since I have been here. So, like, I was like, originally, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep my protective style in for 3 months. I'm gonna be natural for a month and a half, something like that. But no, not how it was gonna turn out. But I kind of already planned to be like natural, whatever, like while I was here and stuff like that. And so, I've had some like basics whenever I came over here, like eco and stuff like that. Yeah, like I had this jar, $5, right? That I brought over here and stuff like that, packed in my checked bag. But I didn't realize how low I was on it before I brought it over here. So I went to my braids on, stuff like that, started styling, stuff like that, realized how low I was. I was like, all right, so I'm gonna get some more. To get to a place that has eco styling gel, I had to take a bus and a train and walk a little bit to get there, right? Tell me why y'all see the difference. This is $11 AUD, which converts to $7 USD. And this, like, I still got the tag on it. Like, this is $5. And even this was, like, from DC. So, it was more expensive than what it should have been, most likely. So, like, y'all could just see, like, if that gives y'all any inclination to the whole what's it like being black in Australia, then, yeah, here's a little tip or something like that when you're going natural or, like, anything like that. Oh, Lord. But I would say though that, like, overall, it's very expensive for like hair care products, stuff like that, because I told my well, originally I was gonna bring like packs of hair and stuff like that, cause I don't be doing like my own braids or nothing, but like I could do like crochet styles myself and stuff like that. Like I did passion twists on myself, Thanksgiving, but so I was gonna bring some stuff to do that, but then like I just didn't have any room in my suitcase, stuff like that. I was like, when I looked up hair places here, they were about like $7, I thought, like a pack or something like that. And I was like, that's expensive, because if y'all know, like braiding hair is like $2. And so I heard something about $7. I was like, that's a lot. I'm not really messing with that, whatever. But I went to this hair store, same one I got this one at, and $15 for braiding hair is what I saw. Like, not no like pre-made like crochet hair, none of that. Braiding hair. Yeah. A mess. So called my mama up. I was like, please send me something. Cause yeah, no. I'm not paying $15 for packs of hair when my hair would need like 5, 6. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, that's all for like hair and stuff like that. Like, that is just a no. But I have started school again. This time is term 1. So before I was J term, so just the month of January I had one class. Now it is term 1, so I will be here for the rest of the 10-week term. And I have 3 classes, so 3 tutorials, 3 lectures. Like I said earlier, like lecture, huge class, tutorial, smaller class. So I'm signed up for my classes, and my tutorials are 30 people. My lectures are, no lie, 1,000 people. So large auditorium for that, and then smaller classes for my tutorial. So like, and I kind of like that dynamic though, because like lecture is like the actual like information pushed out to you and stuff like that, and like they're recorded. So like when you have all those people and stuff like that, the teacher isn't always like focused on you. You can like I'm not saying you should, but like, I mean, like if you start dozing off a little bit and stuff like that, it's like not all on you. and you didn't miss anything. But whenever it is class and lecture together, stuff like that, it's just like too much. But then tutorial is like an hour long, and it's just discussion. Like, we mentioned this in the lecture. How do you guys feel about that? Was part of the reading. How do you guys feel about that? A lot of times it's like a circular classroom. So like we're all facing each other and like having discussions and stuff like that. And it's like free discussion for the most part. Like the professor or like, well, tutor, when you have a tutorial, the tutor will be like, this is a question. It might be like, how do you feel about, like, I have a politics class or whatever, and so they might say like race in politics, and does it relate to power? How does power and politics relate together and stuff like that? And then, you know, it's free discussion, so people share their argument, and I could say, you know, to, you know, carry on to what you were saying, X, Y, and Z, and then someone else could be like, oh, well, based on that argument, do you also believe in X, Y, and Z? And so it's really just like free flowing and stuff like that. And then the tutor is kind of like the person like in between, just kind of being like, okay, that's cool. Now like switch questions or something like that. That's all the time we have. I know there's a word for that person, but I can't think of it right now. So that's what I really like about it. And because it's everyone's off a holiday, everybody's back now. Like all the Aussies are back and stuff like that. And it's not just like all Americans on campus. All the people are studying abroad. Like it's everybody back on campus. So it's nice to hear like everybody's like opinion, stuff like that. And it's not just like my school's like proud to have so many exchange students coming. So it's people from all over in my classes, people from Asia and Europe and Latin America and like everything. So it's like we get a whole bunch of different perspectives on like thoughts and stuff like that. And then within those areas they have like people in different like countries and stuff like that, and they all have like different opinions and stuff like that. So it's really interesting for that I really like coming in. It's more diversity as far as thoughts than I originally had. Like J term, it seemed like nobody was participating really, and then like term one, like it's a lot more participation, which I've enjoyed, of course. And then as far as what the work looks like, so I'm taking a management class for my marketing elective, philosophy class for my philosophy elective, intro to politics class for my philosophy elective, or politics elective, I can't remember which one I said. And then J term, I took a science elective, a biology elective about the environment. So like all of my classes are electives. Not everybody's taking their electives. So like mine like general electives. I made sure it was general when I came here because everyone's telling me about the curriculum and stuff like that and how it was like hard or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, general electives. And even though I'm a third year, so like if it's like one, like if it might be like arts 118 or something like that, or 1181, something like that. So it's like one is like, of course, like basic level, two is upper, 3, 4, 5 maybe. All those are like on upper levels and stuff like that. It's supposed to go in order of your year. However, I don't mind say one because when I was originally gonna do this one class that was for third years, I was kind of like warned, like maybe try to like stray away from that just because it is like upper level and supposedly like they kind of like start their major earlier than us. So at least like in America, so they have like more background knowledge of these certain like topics and stuff like that. So it's best that if we do go in, we kind of either go like lower than what we are, or like do like electives or like general electives and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been like good in my opinion. It was my best decision. A lot of people in my class like first year, second year, but all the people I hang out with are of course like from my program or something like that, or like people we've met. So they're all older anyway, so I don't feel like I'm like only with like people younger than me. And even if I am, it's like 19, 18 year olds and I'm 20, so it's not like I feel super, super out of place, and I probably am like the only third year in my classes. I don't know. I have no idea. Well, actually, no, I'm not. But maybe just tutorials. I don't know. I don't really ask everybody, but it doesn't feel like it, at least. So, but kind of like going off of that. But yeah, so the courses kind of just look like, so far, a lot of reading. Like for me, I know a lot of people are kind of like, I like to get stuff out of the way. I don't mind spending like all day in the library. So like I will take my time. Like I don't rush when I do like work. I personally prefer online work. Like online classes I thrive in, I think, or I've seen, mostly just because like if you just give me a whole bunch of tasks to do, like I'll complete them right away and I don't have to worry about them. Like I'm literally fine. I will spend like 10 hours, 11 hours in the library if I need to, just getting all that work done, and then like I won't worry about it like at all. So one of my classes, we have like these online tasks that we have to do. Um, like 2% is like a case study thing we had to do, like a research case study. 5% is a lecture activity, so we have to come to lecture. A lot of people skip lecture because when it's recorded, and then two, there's so many people, so it's really hard for them to take attendance. So like now we have like lecture activities in my lectures to like help with participation and attendance and stuff like that. So part of mine comes with like an activity that we have to do at the end of lecture that you'll only know about like if you come to lecture. And then the other part is like active reading. So like we have like read a book and then or read part of the textbook and then like do it online. If you guys have Connect or anything like that, or if you know what Connect is, it's just like through that. So yeah, that has been like something online. I just got it all done out of the way. So that makes me feel like a little bit of comfort, just getting it done. But majority of my homework and stuff like that is reading. And I love to read, but only if it's like something like I'm more so interested in. And like none of my classes go up a major. So it's interesting and I've actually been enjoying it. But at first I was like, ooh. So like I didn't do the reading for the first week of class. And I tell you, like I was literally like looking so lost. Like I can like jump in when people like in tutorials, like I can jump in when people say something and like kind of get my opinion on it. But like I had no idea what they were talking about. So I literally spent 6 hours in the library just like reading all of it. And it'd be like 50 pages for this class and 60 pages for this class and 20 pages for this. Like all of my classes had reading, like no lie. And I had to do that plus catch up reading. So it was insane. I just spent like nearly 7 hours just like reading everything. But when I tell you, my mind like opened up. Like I I feel like the professor, like I came back to my tutorial and like one girl asked me if I was a political science major because I just like knew like all the background and stuff like that. Like this other girl told me that like in philosophy it sounded like I just like could basically like teach a class or whatever. And then in management, this girl was like, "Oh, like you definitely took more." And like, I'm not to brag, but like it was just like one of those things when I tell you like the reading like is so like necessary for the class. And like of course like if my dad like watches it, he's gonna be like, "Always do the reading." But I mean like genuinely like reading goes like with the course, and it was more so like a lot of times like you're supposed to read if you don't understand and stuff like that. Like we get it, like for the course stuff like that, it's always beneficial. But like I had to take a practice quiz for my classes, and before I did the reading, I did the practice quiz and I got like a 40%. Then I did the reading and stuff like that and I got a 100%. Like it's solely based on the reading is what I'm talking about. Like my university in specific is a research university, like one of the top ranked like research universities. So they really take like optional reading. They always have like mandatory reading and then like optional reading for my course. Like you just really can't get around it no matter what class it is. So that's something that I had to definitely like reconfigure my mind on, because like I'm normally like get the work done type of thing, and now it's like I genuinely have to like read and stuff like that, and that's kind of a different approach of how I usually like do my classes. I guess in a way I'm more like I pay attention in class, so that reading is more like optional for me. Like I ask all my questions I need to do in class, but now I can't necessarily do that because the lectures are so big and stuff like that, and then the tutorials are just based off the lectures, so it's like you just have to take advantage of the resources they give you and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that's kind of like a little bit of a change. Like, and then lecture is like 2 hours long, and then tutorial is only an hour, so it's like they're really kind of like, we can't get all the questions in. If you want to ask me questions about certain things, like you email me and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, I just like rather do the reading. So that's kind of like different. And then like a lot of projects too. So like I have like a case study project that it's coming up. I have like a, I don't know how many pages, but like a professional development portfolio. One of mine is like 60% of my final grade is an essay. And I think I have like 2 final exams, but I'm pretty sure they're all multiple choice. I think they're both multiple choice. But so I mean that's kind of similar to like from back at my home school. So that's fine. But as far as just the way that the classes go, and I know my school that I studied abroad is different than other schools, simply because like it goes in trimesters instead of semesters. So like I'm in term 1 right now, and so like everybody here is like in college for the first time, basically. Like it's their fall, well, going into their fall, summer going into fall right now. So other schools like University of Sydney have semesters, like most schools do, even like back in the US too. So that's something that's a little bit different and something to get like used to. So social life, we don't go out as much as we used to. Now we're kind of more so on the traveling wave. Like 2 of my friends, they're out camping right now. Probably gonna go on a trip to like Melbourne soon. Stuff like that. Like I feel like nightlife at first was cool, meeting everybody and stuff like that. Now it's kind of like, oh, we haven't been out in 3 weeks. Like, I guess we should go out. But more so, I think we're collectively more like the traveling wave. Like, as we're seeing how fast time's picking up, like, this is vlog number 4. So, it's been 2 months already. We have a month. Wait, is it a month and a half? No, 2.5 months left. Yeah, 2.5 months left. And so, or is it a month and a half? 2.5. 2.5. 2.5 months left. And yeah. So like basically time has been picking up really quickly. So it's like, let's just like take advantage of what we have, where we are, everything like that. Exploring it, because the thing is like a lot of people don't come to this side of the world, so, and it's not as easy, like, you know, US to Europe, that's a common shit that people do, or US to Latin or South America or something like that, because we're kind of more on that side of the world, so like it makes more sense. Or like even to Africa, I mean those are if I remember correctly, like 5 to 8 hour flights type of thing. Meanwhile, this is a 15-hour flight from West Coast. Like you have to fly all the way to California and then fly to Australia, or I think Houston has a flight too. But I mean, of course, it's gonna add more time to your trip. So it's like, just in general, like a lot of people don't really make this your destination stop. I mean, you can't just come here for like a week or something like that. I mean, it takes 2 days to get here because of the time change. Like I skipped the whole day of January 2nd to get here. So I mean, exploring here, it's not like I feel like I'm just gonna like come back here, like, you know, just pop in because I miss Australia type of thing. So really just taking advantage of what I have here and exploring this country that I've been living in for 2 months now has been like more the priority more than anything. So I think that's kind of like where we're going, or like climate change rallies have been coming on. I haven't been to one, but I know there's one coming up, and there's Mardi Gras tomorrow, and there's just like more so events that, because holiday is over and everyone's back from their summer vacation trips and stuff like that, like a lot more stuff has come on. So we've been exploring more so like on that, and then towns around us like Newtown and stuff like that. But exploring more of those areas rather than like focusing on like nightlife and stuff like that. So that has kind of been like a shift or like a change in how we like meeting people, or it's not necessarily like focus on like meeting new people, because we have met a lot of people, but also just focused on now like talking to the people that we have met, and then saying like, okay, like where do we need to go and stuff like that, or do you want to go with us, or like they're inviting us out places and stuff like that. And so that's kind of like part of the way that we are also exploring too. So it kind of like all kind of goes into the experience and stuff like that, which I've really been enjoying. And there's like church around here, the Hillsong Church. I know it's not too far. I watch church online, so I haven't visited that church, but I know two of my friends have went and they liked it a lot. So like just stuff like that we've been kind of focused on. And so yeah. That's basically been it. I would post like a recap like I've done, but I haven't done anything really like video worthy to go at the end. Like I've really just been studying or going to class, or like going out to eat or something like that. Not anything major. Bali kind of let me relax for a bit. So yeah.